Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. It's time now to review headlines on today's newspapers. And doing the honors today is Steve Ayorin, as we are still missing the ombudsman of this day, and Arise Media Group, Mr. Kayode Komolafe. So, miss him.
Thank you, G. We'll go straight to this day on Sunday. The lead story here says, APC Strategists Mobilise against PDP over Senate minority leadership. The riders, Tambua, Aliero, Dixon, Uba, Moro, Ningi, others won against imposition. National Assembly will back Tinubu to drive development, says Akpabio, who of course is the new Senate president. Under that story is the story that readers will find on page 12, and the headline says, Shake up as Army Chief reshuffles top brass, appoints PSOs, GOCs, and others. That's General Lagbaja, I believe, the new Army Chief, making some appointments. I think that a lot of people have a lot of respect for General Lagbaja, and it looks like he seems to be, making some moves that will assist in ensuring that our security architecture, improves and gets better under him. On top, on the window there, in new KYC, and that, of course, it's Know Your Customer. CBN directs banks to obtain customers' digital IDs, social media handles. That's a story that has been, that has gone viral, and people are discussing, the point of, why is the CBN asking for people's digital IDs before you can register, open an account or transact, business with them, that you have IDs, you have NIN, you have BVN, Why do you know what I'm saying on Twitter, on Facebook, or what's the other new one, TikTok, and all those things. But I don't know what you think about this.
They say that the move is to fortify. Let me read it out to you.
Yes, please.
The move is to fortify the fight against money laundering, terrorism financing, and proliferation financing. I mean, what business does the CBN have in this regard at this point?
Will that move acknowledge that some people may not be on social media by choice?
That is the point. So are you saying that if I don't have a social media handle I should go and create one at this point? But what does it also say about our data? Data
gathering,
for example. I mean, there is no way we can say that, you don't have enough information on your customers, that you are having banks to make sure that we provide our social media handles.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. And like you said, I think the duplicity of different ways that gathering agencies, with NIN, with the fact that we have BVNs as well. And there's even like a few weeks ago, they said that we have to go on passports. There's even about a few weeks ago, they came out and said that you have to go and approve your NIN. It just makes it seem as if they intentionally drag out these processes. And I don't know how they're going to force people that are not on social media. I mean, my mother is not on social media. You're not going to force her to get on social media.
A few of my friends who are in the finance sector are not on social media. Because they say that what's the point? If you could want to reach me by phone. I mean, I do acknowledge that it's a growing debate globally. Forbes, for example, lately said that modern banking starts with getting digital ID right, and there was also a recent report in the Financial Brand that says that banks and credit unions must take digital IDs seriously now. Could it be because of the fact that a number of the big fish that went into EFCC's net, and even those that were taken abroad, were tracked from the social media, those flamboyant guys, were living in Dubai.
But so you have just mentioned it. This is the EFCC's job, not the CBN. They should have that data. And what about our data protection laws? Which you have to have consent. Why do you need my social media handle? I just
because
think
it's possible that you might want to pay your children's school fees now, and they say, where's the social media handle? And you say, I'm not on social media. How will they believe you? One more story on the cover of this day. Tinubu departs Paris for brief private visit to London. We've discussed that extensively, and I think that Professor Ubi was careful not to want to delve so much into the private
affairs.
I mean, the president is a public figure now.
I thought that he ought to know that, and to know that this is not about
private life. I mean, the question was, should the president be embarking on a private visit at this point? Should he?
In his first month in office. And what does it mean to say that he's going on a private visit? He's got all the right, because we can stop him, by the way. But it says something that you are leaving one European country for another. Which therefore means that Rishi Sunak will not be aware that you are in his country officially, and you will have to therefore wait for when an invitation will come from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom for a state visit, or when there will be an international event like the Financial Summit in Paris that you have to go. So I'm wondering what could be the point of these important private visits of 3-4 days that couldn't wait.
Steve, you were kind to describe it as an emergency. I heard you say that, so it has to be that then.
All right, before we leave this day for this day style, I think the second picture on the cover is instructive, given was trending on social media. Global financing on their minds. That's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, during the summit for a new global financing pact in Paris recently. You know that Dr. Okonjo-Iweala has been sharing pictures on Twitter and social media, and people are saying that, why are you sharing pictures of other presidents and not the one with your own president? And then she had to defend herself to say that I'm sharing them as the pictures came in from my aides. And when she eventually shared one with President Bola Tinubu, some people are a bit creative in their thinking. Were saying that, why was the president's handshake, extending, farther?
Goodness. They went to that part.
Oh, they did actually.
But other people were saying it was some sort of damage control, because she had posted the presidents, like Macky Sall, she had posted Cyril Ramaphosa, of course the host as well. And they're saying that, she might have posted it as a, damage control measure. But again, it shows how deeply polarized we are as a nation.
Which was what she said, actually.
She did. Okay,
she did say that on
that's
social
what
media.
It shows. Well, she says that this attack and the criticism is unwarranted. I mean, I don't see any reason why she cannot feel free to post the pictures. I am very curated with my social media. I like my pictures in certain, I like them certain ways. And so, it's my social media. I can post whatever I want. So, I thought that was unwarranted, like she said.
But it's good that at least eventually, looking at the frame of the picture, I thought that there was good vibe between Dr. Okonjo-Iweala and President Tinubu, and that's all that matters. That's all that should matter, given the fact that these are two people representing Nigeria well on the international stage.
Absolutely.
All right, should we go to this day style?
Yeah, let's do this day style. I believe we will pull that up in a little bit. Chetan, do you want to take a story before we do this day style?
Then let's look at Sunday Punch. The lead story there, the governors probe predecessors, review contracts, and reverse appointments. As the successors beaming a searchlight on Tambuwal, Ishaku, Ganduje, Ikpeazu, and others, while Benue and Zamfara governors fight Autumn and Matawali over vehicles. We're just talking about the cost of governance. So I think this probe is coming at a good time, but I hope it's a probe that goes all the way in, and it's not just the, scratching the surface.
That was like a ritual. It's a ritual every time that a new governor, especially if it's from a different party, comes in. That's what you will expect.
And then just by the side here, more dams needed to tackle looming floods. We're in the rainy season, and in Lagos and in different parts of Nigeria, we're beginning to see more and more flooding. You can't
overemphasize that. It is important. But definitely. I think the story on the window, on top there, PDP may suspend Wike Autumn, others over romance with Tinubu. I think that's an interesting, story. If PDP will have the courage to go ahead, because these gentlemen are not hiding the fact that not only are they romancing the new president, they're actually in bed with him, because of the manner in which they assisted, particularly in Rivers State and Oyo State, how they assisted the president, in winning in those states, and at least 4 times in 3 weeks they've been to Aso Rock. Governor Makinde of Oyo State, former Governor Wike, and a few other ones. What precisely do they need from the president?
Oh, we'll be finding out. I'm sure we're going to find out very soon.
So I think that it will be important for PDP not to let this slide, so that you don't set a bad precedent that your governors can be purchased in quotes, if they disagree with the candidate of their party.
All right. Let's take the Sunday Tribune. The lead story there: outrage greets CBN's request for bank customers' social media handles. We just discussed that. I mean, it is going to go on for about a week or more, I'm sure. The writer there: policy may affect financial inclusion, infringe on privacy rights. This is my point. This is really what it is at this point. And then the picture story there: 4 days to Salah. Ram goes for 400,000 naira.
400 to 700,000 naira.
Or how much was it before? I've never bought a Ram before.
I've never bought it before, but I think from about like 100, 150, you could get like a really good one I
know that as a June of last year and around the Salah of last year, an average Ram, you get the average ones around 100, 120, and if you're looking for the,
juicy,
the kutupa ones that are really big, you'll be doing 140,
I mean, you will have to start sharing Rams now.
Jumping from 150 to 4 something. That was a joke on social media, by the way, when somebody said that Ram, had gone up to 600,000 naira.
No, it's not a joke. It's real now.
No, I'm saying that it was a social media joke, and somebody says, how much was the person that was meant to be used as a sacrifice going when I have to pay 600 naira for a ram to,
Absolutely. We have other stories on the Tribune, but we have very little time, so we'll take this day's style to close out the newspaper review. And the cover picture there is Mary Ojulari. Mary Ojulari. I mean, she has been breaking glass ceilings. Absolutely. I mean, she is, I believe, the director of Wester Associate and the sole authorized dealer for Mercedes-Benz. I mean, this is what we need to see, women inclusion in that type of sector, the automotive sector. And I think that they are, at this point, a place people should be looking at. What can the automotive sector do with this whole subsidy removal? And I would love to see what she has to say with that type of inclusion.
Interview. I've not read it, but Mary Ojulari I know quite well. If you're looking for an epitome of beauty, of resourcefulness, of grace, I think that it will be Mary from CNBC Africa, finance and everything.
She has
this Mercedes thing, I'm brilliant. I'm very down to it.
Fantastic.
Very down to it.
Oh, please hook me up with her. You know why I need that. All right. This was fun.
All right, OG. That brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
And I'm Shaitan Atigari.
Well, I'm Oji Ofe from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.